Hello, Scott Henderson here again with the second only False Ducks Video Blahg. Now, some of you are probably saying, Scott, you're wearing your glasses. Why is that? You never wear your glasses when you do a video blog. Well, there's only been one other video blog, so I've decided to wear these this time because I have to read to you from something I wrote a few minutes ago. But first, let me give you a disclaimer. This video blog will be political. It is about the upcoming provincial election here in Ontario, Canada. Next week, on June the 12th, 2014, we will be going to the polls for a totally unnecessary election. I say that because the current leader, Premier Kathleen Wynne, and the Ontario Liberals have a mandate to rule until fall of 2015. But the Conservatives and the NDP party here in Ontario have decided that they don't like the current ruling government, and they didn't vote to support the last budget, which was a really good budget, and so Kathleen Wynne had to call a provincial election. So, again, we're going to the polls next week. Now, in my last blog, I put a sign on my lawn that said, "We will not be voting Conservative." You can read about that in the past blog. But I was very upset this weekend when I read another editorial in the Picton Gazette. Now, the Picton Gazette is a newspaper here in Prince Edward County, and I receive the free version every weekend. In the past 3 weeks, there have been two editorials that have been bashing the Liberal Party and applauding Tim Hudak and the Conservative Party. I don't understand why this is happening. Perhaps the ownership of the Picton Gazette is conservative in nature. Again, that's not slander or libel. More, I should say, that should be a question. Is it owned by a Conservative Party? I don't know. But let me read to you from the letter to the editor that I sent this morning. Dear editor, surprise, surprise, yet another editorial from the Picton Gazette bashing the Liberals in the upcoming provincial election, but also applauding Tim Hudak and the Progressive Conservative Party. To quote Popeye, that's all I can stand, I can't stand no more. If you really want to inform your readers, then why not accurately label the villain in the piece? Tim Hudak and the Conservatives are not to be trusted, nor should they be elected. First, his economic plan of creating 1 million jobs by cutting 100,000 jobs makes no sense and has yet to find any support from any economist. If he cannot take the advice of professionals, what makes us think he'd take the advice of the electorate? You get what you vote for, and what makes you think he'll stop at the 100,000? If elected, he might think he has the will of the people to go even further, and suddenly 100,000 becomes 150,000 or more. Last time around, under Mike Harris, with Tim Hudak sitting around the table, the Conservatives slashed social assistance rates by almost 22% and axed the number of social housing and affordable housing projects. Now Hudak, in his what is old is new again plan, wants to make more cuts to social assistance payments. Talk about wanting to build the economy on the backs of the poorest of its citizens. That's right, let's tear down the social safety net while we're waiting for these million pie-in-the-sky jobs to appear. Tim Hudak also wants to eliminate the home renovation tax credit for seniors that would allow seniors to stay in their homes longer. Tim seems to think that it's cheaper to put seniors into long-term care rather than allowing them to live in their own home. Let's not even mention the dignity of living in a home where you built your life. What about students? Under the Conservatives, the 30% tuition grant for most Ontario college and university students would be eliminated. He wants to create jobs but also hinder access to higher education so students can get a better paying job. Many students can't afford a post-secondary education, and now Hudak wants to make sure even less students can get a college or university diploma. And yet more cuts to education? Hudak wants to increase the classroom sizes. He also wants all-day kindergarten to be taught by only one teacher with no assistants. I'd like to see him try to manage, let alone teach, a classroom of 26 3- to 5-year-olds all on his own every day. Parents and teachers have fought for years to make sure the cap on classroom sizes were appropriate. No one wins in this scenario. If Hudak wins, it's fair game against children, students, seniors, and poor people. Is it any wonder that I have a yellow sign on my front lawn that says we will not be voting Conservative? That last line is a reference to my last blog at www.falseducks.com. My friend Zoe is going to come in, and she's going to be getting some affection from me. I have no affection for Tim Hudak. He's going to ruin this province if he gets in, and I don't want that to happen. Get out there and vote. If you don't want to vote for any of the ruling parties, remember that you have the right to decline the vote. That is essentially a vote of no confidence in all of the parties. You don't get the right to vote and the right to complain if you don't use your right to vote. Get out and vote and make a difference. This is my video blog, my second only video blog. And this is Zoe, who wants lots of love and affection. So, in the words of Ringo Starr, peace and love, Scott Henderson out.